and I can't hear you. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to probably get a new computer. Who knows? This one, everybody has problems hearing anyway. So, but this morning, what we wanted to talk about, does anybody want to put in chat anything that they would like to talk about other than building your database really fast? Okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about building your database really fast then. How many, well, this is a question for yourself. You don't have to say this out publicly, but how many of you have a database of 100? That's a question for yourself, because that's a benchmark. That's where we want to be. Here we go. Okay, so let me get here. Hi. Okay, so one of the first things about growing your database, of course, is getting out there and talking to people or engaging with people via text or social media or phone call. And one of the very first steps is understanding who you're talking to or who you're potentially going to talk to, and what is it that how do they like to be communicated with. So make sure you're using the right method of contact for every lead based on their previous interactions and typical generational tendencies. For example, if you're always texting with a certain person, well, text is going to be the way that you want to. Is my hand up? No, that's just my thing. Text is going to be the way that you want to reach out to them pretty consistently, right? So I actually have my database with a note for each person that says call, email, text, Facebook. So I know how I reach out to them. And that's something that I would encourage you to do as well. Snail mail brochures and postcards are great for older buyers. A lot of, and I get to say, you know, I'm turning 65 this year. I am, because of being in business, really online a lot, but I know my sister. If I want to reach out to my sister, I have to pick up the phone, or I have to snail mail or send her a postcard. If I'm working with active adults, I for sure am going to be mailing them something through the mail, because that's what they respond to. My sister still writes handwritten letters to people, which I think is just awesome. She will not buy anything online. So she won't even look at reviews online. So that's, and I'm not saying she's representative of everybody in her age group, but she's in her 70s, and that's typical. Email might be preferred for young or middle-aged professionals who have busy working and family lives and are easily stressed out by missed calls. One of the habits that unless you're going to leave a voicemail, and a lot of people really dislike voicemail, it's one more thing to do. So if you're going to call somebody, let it ring like 1 or 2 times, 3 times max, and then don't let it ring all the way to the message and not leave a message, if that makes sense, because that stresses people out. They're like, who was that? I've done that in the past, and I'll get a call back from somebody saying, hey, I got a call from this number. What was it about? And I can hear the stress in their voice. So does that make sense? Okay, good. And then text messages are great for reaching out to millennial buyers and tend to have high engagement rates. And this is where I get to say, I don't think any of you were around for the 5-day video text challenge. So I'm probably going to bring that back. And what we did was, it was 10 video texts a day. And I actually had somebody who raised their hand and said, I want to buy a home from the 10 video texts. So sometimes when people want to engage with you on regular text, if you send a video text, they will engage. And it's a nice way. And I think I've shown all of you. Let me see if I can find Niella. Have I shown all of you Niella's? The video text that we went back and forth? Has anybody seen that? Okay, so this is as simple as it got. Okay, this is as simple as it got.
Hello, this is Candace Story. We met briefly when I was with owners, and I know you purchased your home, and I hope you're just enjoying the heck out of it. Anyway, I just wanted to catch up and see what was going on with you all and how it's going with Delta. My number is 678-860-5633. Again, 678-860-5633. I'd love to know if you're performing anywhere. I always enjoy, I don't know if that's happening again yet, but I hope so. Or if you're on Zoom or virtual, I'd love to know that as well. So just give me a text, a shout. Maybe we can get together for coffee one day and catch up. I'd love that because I really enjoyed meeting you both and would like to stay in touch. Thanks so much. Bye, Niela.
Totally awkward, totally not practiced, totally got this response.
Hi, Candace. It was actually lovely hearing from you. You actually messaged me at the right time. We did not end up buying our home. He ended up getting called away on military duty. And then he came back, and then COVID happened, and he ended up getting called away on military duty again. And now it's just pretty much slowing down. We have our pre-qual for us to go and purchase a home. And I actually coming down there next week. Well, the 15th I leave. I'm coming down there on the 16th for a week. And with the intention of finding me something and hopefully purchasing or putting a bid in on our first home. So I do still need your services if you are still in that business. And I also have a show there on the 20th that's going to be a virtual show.
So anyway, I have texted her before, never gotten a response, but that video text got a response. And I did here's Michael. So the story behind that is that I did really sloppy follow-up with her. They came down to buy a house and then they didn't buy the house, and then I just didn't follow up with them. And so when I finally did call her, she said, "Oh, we didn't know, we didn't hear from you. We didn't know. So we're putting an offer in on a house and we're working with somebody else." And so when I texted her this time, I thought, it's not about her, it's maybe who she knows. And so I counted on the fact that the realtor she was working with, or the real estate agent she was working with, would also do sloppy follow-up, which indeed happened, as you can see. So the text messages and the text video messages are really well received. I harp on that all the time, but it's because people like them. It's different. So Michael, what we're talking about is appropriate ways to message people based on their tendencies or their generational tendencies.
Thank you.
Picking up the phone is also a way to reach out to buyers of all ages and backgrounds. Make sure you smile when you're talking on the phone. It sounds way different if I say, "Hey, this is Candace, how are you?" than, "Hey, this is Candace, how are you?" It just sounds different. And you want to maybe talk about what's happening in the market, and one of the tried and true is, "Hey, I have buyers that I'm working with and we can't find homes for them. Who do you know who might be willing to sell?" That's a good script to use always. And then here's another way that you can build your database. So we talk about how to reach out to people. Sharing is caring. Sharing and generating buzz on social media. So a lot of people especially during the pandemic, people got used to spending time on social media. Did all of you spend more time? Yeah. I think I get a message each week that says your screen time is up, so and so, or your screen time is down. And it was definitely up during the times when we weren't out with people. So if you're going to share a buyer need on Facebook, or if you're going to share a listing on Facebook, make sure it's interactive. So you want to tell a story. You want to employ some sort of creative license in order to draw their attention, and also get them sharing and talking about the listing. So for instance, what would you do with this backyard? What color rug would you put in this room, if it's vacant, or what do you think about this furniture versus a more modern look? You can ask questions like that and get people engaging and actually talking about it. People love to give their opinions, and people love to be asked about their opinions. You want to use an eye-catching image. to make sure your social media posts stand out. And it doesn't have to be about a home, a listing or not. It could be something about the marketer. Like, let me think, we're in a seller's, so everyone knows it's a seller's market, but did you know that there's still 17% of homes that aren't selling? Do you know why? What do you think? Ask a question, let them put their opinion in. You know the answer. It's because it's either price, condition, or accessibility. But you don't have to say that. You don't have to be the expert. You can be fun and let them have the fun of the exchange. There's a realtor who posts a picture. She's known for posting a picture of a really ugly bathroom. Every week, Michael knows this, and people comment on it. There's an agent I follow on Instagram just because she's so fun. Let me see if I can find her. Her name is Cindy. She's in LA. Her name is Cindy Ambuhl, Ambeuhl. See if I can find her. And she posts the funniest realtor videos, but she gets engagement. PE. Let's see, Cindy. Let me see if I spell that right. I don't know, it's not wonky, but anyway, Cindy Ambuhl. One of her posts was she was sitting at Christmas time working on a gingerbread house with one of her sons, and she gets a phone call. This is a video, it's a made up video, but she gets a phone call and she goes, "Hi, working on a home," as she puts jelly beans on the little gingerbread home. She goes, "Oh yeah, no, it's not on the market. No, this is kind of a sleeper. But yeah, it's really cool. It's kind of, we've got it decorated for Christmas. It's really a cool home." She's totally talking like she's doing a real estate transaction,
That's
but
funny.
she makes it fun. And and there's another one where she goes, "Hon, I gotta go. Is the car ready?" And she looks out the window and she sees that the car is all clean. And what you don't see is that her husband is behind finishing up washing the back of the car, and she backs up and the whole bucket of water goes all over him and he falls down like this, and then she zips out to go to wherever she's going with her real estate. She's just fun. So you can do fun things like that. Justin has a TikTok where I think he said he was going to do a TikTok where he was going to be standing in front of a home and "Oh, sure, it's okay if you're about 10 minutes late," and it's during the spring season, and by the time the buyer gets there, he's covered with green pollen, which I thought was pretty cute too. Um, so try to keep the text minimal and to the point. Let pictures do most of the talking. Use Facebook's live feature to record live video tours of a property. You can do this with somebody else's property, a listing as well. So for instance, I've got a couple of listings. Anybody could go into those listings and do a live video tour. That's more marketing for my seller, right? And it promotes you as somebody who knows about homes and can maybe have a buyer who buys that home. Share the live and also comment on the selling points of the property, and watch as leads join you in real time. It's a great way to give the tour a feeling of exclusivity and help your viewers feel part of the experience. You could totally do something like join me live at Wednesday at noon as I preview a home that's going to be coming on the market. We've got a lot of coming soon, and we've got a lot of listings. For instance, I've got listings that are going live in the second or last week of August because they're getting the homes ready. Totally could do something around the exterior of the home or featuring a kitchen or something like that. Get a sneak preview of the kitchen. You could totally do something like that. Remember, when it comes to Twitter, less is more. Twitter usually has an older base, professional people with lots of demands on their time, so make them as succinct and witty, as informative as possible. If you're not naturally witty, you can Google witty. You can Google witty things that realtors say and just tweak it a tad and make it yours. Snapchat is a fun and effective way to engage with millennial buyers, and because it's a visual platform, you can let the property's beauty speak for itself, so viewers don't feel like they're getting the hard sell. Don't overlook LinkedIn. I have a friend who started. She was living in she was in Cobb County, and she started as a brand new realtor. And she said, "Candace, I've been a stay-at-home mom in my neighborhood." And she lives in a nice neighborhood. She said, "I've been a stay-at-home mom. Why is anybody ever going to think I can help them with real estate?" But she started. She taught herself MailChimp and started engaging that way. And then she started posting on LinkedIn. And now I watch her post and I'm like, wow, has she come a long way? And people love her posts on LinkedIn. She'll post something about the market. She'll post something about a home. She'll post different things that people might want to know about real estate. So that's a good one. And you can definitely get leads on LinkedIn. We've talked about this before. LinkedIn, if you have, people that you're connected with on LinkedIn, endorse them. Go and endorse them for something. It's a surprise to them a lot of time. And then you can send them a text saying, hey, I just endorsed you for blah, 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 blah. It was so great when I worked with you, or so great when you helped me with, or so great when I knew you and we were working on that project or that volunteer, or whatever it was. Just send them a notice that you endorse them. And unless they're not on LinkedIn very often, they're going to definitely respond back, and you can start the conversation about real estate. Keep it visual. Pinterest and Instagram are great places to showcase the best photos of a property in your portfolio. And I am laughing because I'm thinking of my portfolio. But keep descriptions brief and encourage buyers to find out more for themselves by getting in touch. So for instance, you can say something, you can post a picture of I've got a listing right now that the house itself was built in the 1920s. The frame is actually kind of rough, even though they painted over it. They should have just replaced it or sanded it, but they didn't. So the painting is kind of rough, but the seller put 5 levels of entertaining decks in the backyard. It's incredible. There's a dining deck with a gas, there's a cooking grilling deck with a gas grill. There's a dining deck. There's a relaxing deck. There's a place where you put in tile, like mosaic tiles, and a sunning deck. There's a fountain. So what I might do is take a picture of that. I might take a picture of that and then say, for more information about this house, contact me in my link in my what's it called, your bio, I guess is what it's called. But you always see the click the link in my bio for more information, and then people can send their information in. Is this helpful so far?
Absolutely.
Any new ideas? Or have
I'm
you
on
already
Link-
known all this?
I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't know what to do with LinkedIn. So,
I can't hear you, Brittany. I don't know why.
oh, well, I'm on
Put it
LinkedIn,
in
but I
chat.
don't know what to do with LinkedIn. So thank you.
She can't hear any of us. She's having speaker problems,
it
so
in
you
chat
have
if you have
to
any
put it in chat.
Reinvent yourself as a community-minded agent by engaging with local charities, displaying collection boxes, and participating in charitable events. There's a charity that I wanted to start that maybe we could all do together. It's called, LinkedIn Help Brittany. That's great. Thank you. It's called Puffers for People. And twice a year I go down to the Mart and I see all these homeless people that ride the MARTA. They ride MARTA because they can get on for a couple of dollars and it's warm. And they ride from one end to the other, And I often think about how cold they must be when they can't ride MARTA when it stops for the night. And so I wanted to start something called Puffers for People, because puffer coats you can wad up and they can be made really small, so they're easy to carry, but they're really warm. So, and my idea was that if people have kids who are outgrowing their puffer coats, or you buy a new puffer coat and you're not going to wear the one from last year, maybe it got a rip in it or it started leaking, we could just put donation boxes around and then get those to the homeless people around the MARTA stations. And we could put our names on those boxes, sponsored by, and people start to know us as community minded. You can engage in a charity that's already existing. You could do rescue animals, you could volunteer. I mean, there's all you have to do is Google volunteer, and I'm sure a lot of you are already volunteering in things. So you can invite neighbors into open houses, and that's one of the things. I know Drew did an open house for me this weekend, and he was going to go door knocking to the neighbors and give them a private invitation only before it's open to the public open house. So they came from 11 to 12, and then he held the public open house from 12 to 3. Organize or sponsor a local cleanup project to keep the neighborhood beautiful. There's some areas around where we start to see some trash, and you could organize something like that. Collaborate with local businesses on seasonal events. You could maybe sponsor, go in with a business and sponsor a family for Christmas or Thanksgiving, something like that. And then you would have people bring in canned goods and so on, and maybe have the business be the collection place for it. But you're definitely there on the flyers, helping with that. You're doing two things: when you're serving your community, you're helping a family, and you're getting your name out there. Leverage tech to create listings with wow factor. So people are looking for different things than they were before the pandemic. People are spending more time at home. I know one of the people that I know down at the Mart set in California, the lines were down the block to get into the garden stores because people were improving their homes and making it much better. So when you showcase a listing, be thinking about, even if you're doing somebody else's listing, which you can do until you have your own, showcase the things that are appealing to people right now, like home office, like fantastic backyard, like pool, like culinary kitchen. Tell the story around what people want to hear emotionally, if that makes sense. I think that we've talked before about, if you wanted to do I mean, people in this office, we don't have to hire professional models, but one of you could be, I think I've shown you that on Sarah Sloan's website. And if I haven't, go to Sarah Sloan's website and look at the Blue House. She hired models, and she had, it looked like a flight attendant walking up to the front door of the home. And then the flight attendant walks in and she goes to the kitchen, and there's her husband making a big, beautiful salad in this beautiful kitchen. And then it's all a way to showcase the home. She goes upstairs and she is in her office, and then she goes into the bathroom, and then she comes downstairs and they have a beautiful dinner. So you can use 3D photos. You can invest in cameras, or just hire a professional photographer, or just use your iPhone. But and I'm telling you some details in the way that if you can do the photos and post them on social media, you can get more engagement and build your database faster, especially when you post those photos with the questions, allowing people to interact and a way to contact you. Does that make sense? Okay. So blogging. Does anybody in here like to write? No? Okay, Melissa. So you can also, you don't have to write. You can, if you have an idea, and we're going to do the 12, we're doing a workshop this Friday in the office, and also on Zoom. It's the 36 touch workshop. But one of the ways that you can blog is by researching. For instance, if you want to research how to make the most profit from a garage sale, and you Google that, or you research that on the internet, you'll come up with so many different ideas, and you can put those ideas together so you don't really have to create it from scratch, and then post that blog. And you could post on Facebook, hey, it's like October is a big season. September, October are big months for open garage sales. So you could definitely put on your social media, hey, want to make more profit from your garage sale? Contact me for my special report, or post it on your website and have a collection of, contact information on your website. So you can blog about local venues, you can blog about businesses, you can blog about events. You can publish useful and practical guides on things that might be not easily known, like for first-time buyers. You can create engaging posts about listings. You can, and this is an important one, keywords, using keywords. And I have something I'm going to post on the PC help, and it's a list of keywords that should be in anything that you use, whether it's a hashtag or whether it's in the meat of the article. And it shares actually how many searches were done for that. So for instance, like the word home, there's 449 million views of people searching for the word home, or real estate, or Georgia real estate, and it'll talk about using those keywords in the body of your information. So let me quickly finish. Let's see here. I also think even though newspapers and print media is not so prevalent anymore, I still think we have our neighborhood newsletters. There's no reason why you can't contribute to those like Awesome Alpharetta, or the Patch, I think it is the Alpharetta one, or to some of the local newspapers. Sometimes they already have a realtor, but they're always looking for great content. So if you get to know those people, you're welcome. But if you get to know those people and start to show up as somebody who helps them with content for their newspapers, you'll start getting featured in there, and your articles will get featured in there. And that's a great way to establish credibility. So that's what I had for you this morning. Any comments in the chat? Thank you, Travis, for yours. No?
Thanks, Candace.
Okay. Did you learn anything?
Absolutely. I'd be
Yes,
interested in
No?
those
Okay, good.
that list of
Okay, good. That's my goal. All right, you all have a great day. Some of you I'm going to see on one-on-ones today. I'm just going to ask this. So in our one-on-ones, if you haven't reported your numbers, it's hard for me to understand where I can help you. So if you haven't reported your numbers by now, then just go in there and drop them in there. I don't care if there's zeros, that gives us a starting place. Some weeks I have zeros, but just get in the habit of getting those numbers in there. And you all know where to go, right, for that? Okay, sounds good. Thank you all for being here. I hope you got something out of this, and I'll talk with you a little bit later today. Bye.